Hello, and welcome back to another Supernova 101 series. In this video, we'll walk you through the process of setting up assets in Figma, importing them into Supernova, and exporting them to code. Let's get started. An asset in Supernova is any content that you may want to export, like an icon or illustration. Components that are exportable in Figma will be imported into Supernova as assets. First, let's set up your assets in Figma. Open your Figma file containing the components you want to use as assets. Select the component you'd like to import. And in the right sidebar under Export, click the plus icon. Repeat these steps for all components you want to use as assets. A note about component variants as of this video publication date. If a component has a variant, only the default variant will be imported as an asset to Supernova. After marking your component as exportable, click the Publish Library button in the top right corner of Figma. Review your changes and publish them to the library. A pro tip: sometimes Figma won't recognize the marked as exported settings if nothing else was changed in the library. So you will need to apply a different style to an element in order to be able to publish effectively. This step is crucial as Supernova can only import assets from published Figma libraries. Now let's import your assets into Supernova. In Supernova, go to the Assets dashboard. Click Import from Figma and paste in your Figma library link file. Alternatively, go to the Design Data dashboard, but after import, you will need to enlabel asset scopes to make sure your assets are imported. I'll show you how. Click the three dots next to your data source. Select Edit Import Scope and enable Asset Import. Your Figma assets should now be imported into Supernova. You can browse them in the Assets tab. Finally, let's export our assets to code. Navigate to the Code Automation tab in Supernova. You can set up a pipeline in this tab or choose an exporter of your desired codebase. For example, React, Vue, even SVG. Configure your export settings and choose your event type. You have many options, but the most common one is source updated. Every time you make a change in Figma, your pipeline will trigger. The last step is choosing which repository to deliver your code to. This will open a pull request directly in your codebase. Developers can then review changes before merging without creating breaking changes, and use the exported assets in their code. And that is it. You've successfully set up your assets in Figma, imported them to Supernova, and exported them to code using pipelines. This workflow allows for seamless integration between your design and development implementations. Stay tuned for our next Supernova 101 episode. Happy designing!